You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to Up the Turnpike. What is going on? Matt O'Leary, Mitch Anderson. Mitch, we had some late breaking news. Had to come on this morning and discuss Brock Nelson, no longer a New York Islander, officially traded.
Yeah, look at my eyes. I'm so goddamn tired. I'm sure just like all of you, we were awake at like 12:30 last night. Here we are, 8 o'clock, fully showered, ready to go. So we've been up for a while here. I guess initial reaction, sad, right?
Yes. Well, for me, sad because I missed it. I tweeted out at like 10:30 because I was laying on the couch. So full transparency, yesterday was Taylor, my fiance's birthday. So we had a nice birthday dinner, had a few drinks, and then came back and was like just watching a show on the couch. And I feel myself starting to go around 10:30. I'm like, is this happening tonight, or can we wait till the morning? And lo and behold, I'm gonna guess I fell asleep probably around 11:30, which isn't crazy early either. It's not like, oh, I went to sleep at 9 p.m. and just missed it. I must have missed it by like 20 minutes. So, moral of the story, I was not in on the fun. I woke up around 6:45 this morning and saw everything and said, oh, okay, good.
You knew Lou was staying next door and he's watching you on the couch going, he's asleep, go, 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 go.
Yeah, because this happened. If you're an OG, you may remember the Devon Tays trade happened while I was stuck in traffic driving home from work back in the day. So Lou, just for maybe one last hoorah, said we got to wait until it's the most inconvenient time for Matt to hop on and record a show.
Absolutely, 100%. But here we are, Brock Nelson gone. It is sad to lose Brock Nelson because he has been a fantastic Islander since, as you put it the other day, like since 2010. He has been here for 15 years. This is all he's known. He was obviously choked up about it, as all of we are. But it took one other heroic action by Brock Nelson for this to actually get done, did it not?
Apparently turned down a 3-year contract extension that was presented by the New York Islanders. Lou, what the hell are you doing, bud? But thank you, Brock Nelson, for not accepting. The rumor is he's looking for a 4 or 5-year deal. If we had to come on this morning and talk about Brock Nelson signing a 5-year, $30 million contract extension, I don't think it'd be the same kind of spirit this morning.
No. And again, to be clear, for anyone who's watching us for the first time, this is not about Brock Nelson, the player or the individual. It's not like we don't want Brock Nelson. It's that we wanted these assets because these assets were available to have. If you looked at the prices being paid in the trade market leading up to this, we were all salivating on what Brock Nelson, the second most highly rated asset in the trade market after Mikko Rantanen, what he could bring us at this time where the Islanders are in their cycle, if you will. It would have been unconscionable to keep him through whatever years. And Brock Nelson did the right thing so Lou Lamoriello could do the right thing.
So let's talk about it. It's Brock Nelson and William Dafoe going to the Colorado Avalanche. In return, the Islanders get Calum Ritchie, a 2026 or 2027 first round pick. We'll talk about the conditions. A conditional 2028 third. We'll talk about the conditions. And then Oliver Shillington, who they end up just flipping for future considerations almost instantly.
Yeah, future considerations to the Anaheim Ducks. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What do you say?
Oh.
Maybe something there? Perhaps? Mayhaps? Woo.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe it comes to nothing type of thing. Yeah, I don't know where you want to start there in terms of what we get back. Maybe what we lose, right? We already know Brock Nelson's gone. Now William Dafoe also gone. That 5-minute stint in the NHL really screwed him up. The Islanders, as Lou doesn't usually do, called him up perhaps too early. They didn't know that he was not necessarily ready, and that is crapped on the rest of his career. He hasn't recovered. Hopefully going to Colorado, new lease on life, and this guy becomes the player he was when we, post-draft type of thing.
Yeah, so 5th round pick by the Islanders in 2020.
Yeah.
Had a really nice 22-23 season in Bridgeport, 21 goals, 48 points in 69 games.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Mitch, has not recovered the last 2 years, 25 and 55 a year ago and 18 and 45 this year. Clear regression.
Yeah, has not been the same player. That call up to the NHL really screwed him up. So hopefully things get better for him in Colorado. But with those two assets gone, we get Calum Ritchie, amongst other things. And Calum Ritchie is a hell of a center, a hell of a player, just lighting up the OHL right now. He is on pace for, what was it? I had it up a second ago, and I don't know why I closed my page here. Oh no, I don't want Richie feed and seed, but he's got 60 points right now in the OHL for
Oshawa. 67 points, 41 games played, 14 goals, 53 assists.
Yeah, on pace for 78 points in 48 games. Played for World Juniors. Team Canada, was an assistant captain for them. So he's got leadership qualities as well. A hell of a player who's got that cerebral type of hockey IQ. It just comes naturally to him. He sees things a lot easier than most people do, which is translatable not only at the OHL but into the NHL.
He played 7 games with Colorado. He did score against the New York Islanders. He scored against Ilya Sorokin for his 1 point. So Colorado thought he was close enough to get like a look at him. With the guys in juniors, you could play, was it 9 games you could sample and then send back to juniors. The Islanders did that with Matthew Barzal. They only used 1 game and then sent him back. And then a couple years later has, that massive 2017-18 season. I am assuming that this means, especially at his age and with the kind of production, he's pretty close to making the jump to the NHL.
Yeah, if only for his age. If not for his age, he'd be in the AHL right now. So this is his year 19 season. He turned 20 in January. So that means he couldn't have played in the AHL this year because he's a CHL player. But clearly Colorado, as you said, played him for 7 games. They were interested in having him on the team. Maybe it didn't necessarily work out for other factors. It is the Colorado Avalanche. It's not like you're stepping into the Anaheim Ducks or something. So different beast, right? So stepping in was going to be hard, but he's gone back to the AHL, 67 points, like we said, 41 games. Hell of a player, been over a point per game in every year, but his first year in the OHL. Had 30 points in 21 playoff games last year for Oshawa. So the kid steps up when the games matter, and his puck skills are fantastic. His shot is incredible. There's everything to love about this prospect. When you look at the scouting reports from him, I haven't found one that isn't glowing.
Yeah, and this is a 1st round pick from a couple years ago, granted 27th overall, but has shown really good signs since he's been drafted. It's not like he had a great draft year, then really hasn't done much since then. How many times has that happened for the Islanders? Maybe not with the 1st round pick, but just guys we get excited about, and then they don't really progress the way that we thought. Maybe Kiefer Bellows and Oliver Wahlstrom might be a good example of that.
Yes. Too. But this is not the same type of player, right? Both of those guys, they're shooters, they're elite scorers, and that was like their main asset. Almost really a one-dimensional player. He is not a one-dimensional player. It's not even that. So this should be a home run hit for the New York Islanders with Calum Ritchie.
Now, I think I know you're early into the process as we all are. It's only been about 8 hours since the trade has gone through, and most of the time was spent asleep for some of us here. What do you think, like, your expectations are, maybe what his ceiling is, and how early do we see him playing in the NHL for the Islanders?
How early? Maybe next year. We have center needs. The Colorado Avalanche are ready to play him. Like, if he does well at camp, I don't see why he couldn't play next year. Ceiling, 2nd line center, man.
I think that I was just going to say maybe 2025, like, to start next season might be tough to just expect him to come in and like be a 2nd line center. But I do think that's eventually where he gets to. Is a solid 2nd line center.
Let me add, if Lou Lamoriello is still here next year, he's not playing on the Islanders. He's going to be in the AHL. But if Lou isn't here, then I can almost guarantee that he probably plays some time for the Islanders.
I would think at some point, maybe it's not at the beginning of the year, but I would anticipate he grows out of the AHL rather quickly. That's just the vibe that I get if he even starts down there.
Yeah, I just at this point, please avoid the Bridgeport Islanders.
Yeah.
Please. Sorry, if you're in Bridgeport and you're hoping to see him, I hope you get to, because they fix things there in Bridgeport, but things are not looking good there. So let's avoid that if we can.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the other stuff that they get in this trade. So the first round pick, we both were kind of hoping for a 2025 first round pick, but it's going to be a 26 or 27. The reasoning is the 2026 pick may end up going to the Philadelphia Flyers for a trade.
Right.
So there's conditions on it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. That there are conditions on that pick there. So they could end up with a 2027 first round pick, but it's still a first round pick, right? Like, you're getting a first round pick guaranteed in the return on top of their best A-level prospect. Like, this is a blue chip prospect in the Colorado Avalanche system, their best one. And we're getting that and a first and another pick. And we had Oliver Shillington, which we flipped for nothing, technically.
The third rounder in 2028 is if the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup and Brock Nelson plays 50% of the games,
which he will, unless I guess he gets injured. Yeah, very much a Jean-Gabriel Pageau type of condition, right? Because that was the same one that was on Pageau there. Which
I was going to say, I think we could all root for the Colorado Avalanche now the rest of this year and through the playoffs.
Yeah, give us another third and give Brock a cup, baby, for sure. That would be fantastic on multiple levels.
A couple former Islanders there too with Devontae's.
Yeah. So that would be dope. I don't understand people who are crapping on this return. I don't get it. Do you? I've seen some like, oh, we didn't get enough.
I don't. Cal Ritchie really, like, that does it for me. If it wasn't a player of that caliber and they didn't get a 2025 first, I think I'd be a little bit more upset. But honestly, while we were talking about, potentially looking for a young player who's almost ready for the NHL, I wasn't thinking even like a Cal Ritchie type, just because I think he is extremely close, and I think he's going to be a very, very good player at the next level. I was pleasantly surprised that was the number one guy in the Avalanche system is coming back.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I'm thrilled at the return here for the New York Islanders. We almost didn't get it because Lou was going to give him a contract. Unbelievable.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. And then the prices are still high. So now that we've moved Brock Nelson, which was the right thing to do, let's see what happens the rest of the day. But this was a good return from the New York Islanders. I don't want to hear any complaints about it. We also have to remember that Brock Nelson had a modified no trade clause, right? So while there were 7+ suitors in on Brock Nelson, he probably wasn't saying yes to all of them.
No, but that's a great situation for him to go to. I mean, Colorado, they're a deep team. There's someone there that he knows already in Devontae's. He's gonna projected to slot into their second line and play with Jonathan Drouin and Nushkinen.
He's gonna put up points, man, because we know when Brock is motivated, he can dominate. He did it the other day against the Winnipeg Jets. So you add that to that team, he's gonna play power play as well, I would imagine. Look out, man. He's gonna put up points, and he does well in the playoffs. So look out, man. He could be walking himself into a Stanley Cup. This could be Kyle Okposo 2.0.
Yeah. So good for Brock Nelson. Good for the Islanders. Again, it's sad to see him go.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot this past week, but we've also been talking about for a long time that this was necessary. So overall, I'm happy with the return, Mitch. Fair to say you could say the same?
Yeah, A to A+ level right there.
Beautiful. All right, so that's going to do it for us in this reaction video. We'll be live for the trade deadline as well. So come hang out with us, 2:00, hanging out till a little after 3 to see if anything else comes trickling in. But we will have our reaction to anything the Islanders do and anything that happens around the league. So come hang for that. I'm Matt. He's Mitch. We'll catch you next time.